Hey guys, I'm back with another video. This time I'm going to give you 20, yes you heard me, 20 underrated, underused, whatever you'd like to call it, items that are extremely beneficial for warriors throughout your journey on either hardcore or era. Now I made sure that these items don't require going into a dungeon except for 2 of them, which are extremely easy dungeons anyways. However, some of these items do take a bit of work through questing, so I'll make sure to let you know where the majority of these items start. I ended up doing 10 items for Horde and 10 items for Alliance. I made sure I did 5 weapons and 5 armor for each to give you guys some diversity. And guess what? Since you guys have enjoyed my videos so much, I decided to upgrade my editor so I can make a few more things for you and make the videos a little more interesting. Again, I appreciate all the support, guys. Alright, let's get started. My first item is the Axe of Orgrimmar, an axe that requires you to go to Skull Rock, a place where warriors fear. Now on hardcore, I'm assuming that you won't have too much trouble because of the amount of people that will be in the cave with you. However, the real problem here is the drop rate of the insignia, so I hope you're lucky. Eventually you'll have to head to RFC, which really isn't even a dungeon, do some talking, and voila, you have your axe. A nice two-hander for orcs, because they have the +5 racial, provides 3 strength and 3 stamina. Again, this chain starts at Thrall with hidden enemies. Next, we have the Cauldron Stir. If you refer to my video about tips for warriors, you'll see that I recommended warriors using staves if it's needed. So all you need to do is you need to do the quest Fungal Spores in the Crossroads from Apothecary Zama, and then he gives you a quest to run to Thunderbluff under a certain time. Luckily for you, you have to make a trip to Thunderbluff anyways to grab the flight path. And if you're a stamina hoarder, you're in luck because the staff gives you 4 stam and has decent attack speed. He also actually gives you a choice of useful potions. I usually take the speed potions, especially if I'm playing hardcore. It's an easy exit for warriors. My next choice was Executioner Sword, an item that can be bought from vendors in multiple spots, Alliance or Horde, but I threw this one on the Horde side. For Horde, there's a goblin vendor on the left of Wensheer Crag. You can see my video link up the top if you need the location. Or there's an orc weapon vendor in Terran Mill that also sells it. Keep in mind that this weapon has a quantity limit, so it might not be there. And it costs about 1 gold to 50 silver depending on your rep with the faction, 9 strength, which is 18 attack power, and good attack speed. You cannot go wrong with this sword. I've had people in the past tell me it's too expensive. Well, in hardcore, all you're really doing is grinding. You should be able to make the money back pretty fast. Now I'm going to jump some levels here and go with Brute Hammer next. This chain actually begins in 1k needles with the quest Alien Egg, and then eventually turns you to grab some leaves from some water elementals. You'll take those leaves to an NPC in Thunderbluff. She'll make a powder and then give you the Arikara quest. You go up to Dark Cloud Pinnacle, light a fire to summon the mob. Please keep in mind that this mob is elite, level 28. I would suggest going around 30-32, using potions and cooldowns such as Retaliation. You should be fine. I haven't had any issues with this quest ever. The quest gives you this hammer, good base damage, good attack speed, good stats, totally worth, and you'll get good XP from this chains of quests that really isn't relatively hard to do. Now, if you don't want this hammer, it actually gives you a shield option as well with some good stats on it. Now, my last recommendation for weapons for Horde is Tokar's Murloc Chopper. This axe starts from a quest called Lack of Surplus in Swamp of Sorrows. I recommend starting this chain around 37-38 and should be able to finish it easily around level 39-40. The only trouble you'll have is the second to last quest is you have to kill a good amount of Murlocs that are grouped up and they like to run, so use hamstring. But if you're careful, you can pick them off as you go. The reward is this axe, which gives you 15 strength, equal to 30 attack power, decent attack speed, and obviously +5 axe ratio, so very good for orcs. Now let's head over to the armor. The first items I'm suggesting is Cobalt Buckler, and it also comes with leather gloves called Gloves of the Moon. These rewards come together, and they start with the Surgra Darkthorn chain, where you get the Planestrider beaks, the Zebra hooves, etc. Pretty easy chain. You'll run into a quest eventually called Cry the Thunderhawk. All you have to do is kill a Thunderhawk, give the quest giver the wings. It'll give you this nice shield with stamina and these gloves where you're not really going to find better gloves, even regardless if they're leather or mail. at that time. Overall, really easy chain. The hardest part, I believe, is killing Ishmael, the level 19 raptor by the dead tree. Other than that, easy items to get. Orcus Ward Chain made my list next. Extremely high value for such an easy quest. Grab an entire mill from the orc inside the church. You go save the 2 orcs over in Durnhold Keep. Just keep in mind when you're saving the orc down in the huts, if you don't pull correctly, you're going to pull about 3 of the NPCs out or 3 of the mobs, and you're probably going to be forced to use a cooldown and potion or both. But this quest shouldn't take you more than 15 minutes, and it actually pairs up with another quest there to kill certain mobs, so easy XP. Another easy quest that comes with really good value in the bracers is Grimtoll Risk Guards, and this quest starts with killing centaurs actually in 1k needles. You'll find the quest up at Freewind Post, and then he asks you to head to Dark Cloud Pinnacle to grab the boxes with the notes in them. You can pair this quest up with the wanted poster in the same town, as well as the escort there by Arnak Grim Totem, and then so that gives you 3 quests to knock out at once. These bracers give you a 10 attack power, 1 agility, 2 stam. You're not going to find anything better at that time. My next item is actually in Desolace, one of my least favorite zones, but this belt is extremely worth it. Tons of stats and very easy to get. Grab the Clam Bait quest from Shadow Prey Village, and all you have to do is go to the wrecked ship up in the north. You'll see it on your questy. Now, all you have to really do is be careful of the Naga and the enraged surf crawlers who actually destroy the clams that you need to grab off the ocean floor. You can actually kill some of the crawlers there and they drop it as well, but otherwise, extremely easy quest, good belt. Now, my last item actually peaks up in levels a little bit. It's called the Emerald Peak Spalders, and this is probably one of the most difficult to get out of the bunch. The chain starts in Feralis by a Tauren named Hadakin Swiftstrider. He's going to give you a few missions for gnolls and then bugs at the south of Feralis. Eventually, you have to kill a named bug. Keep in mind that named bug will actually stack a poison debuff on you, and he will stun you or give you a knockback. I suggest using cooldowns and just blow his ass up. After that, he'll send you to Orgrimmar, and he's going to give you these fantastic shoulders. Plate, ton of armor, ton of stats, including 10 stamina. Must get these, in my opinion. Now let's head to the Alliance side. My first weapon of choice was Woodman's Sword, a sword that's relatively easy to get over in Darkshore, starting with the quest Cave Mushrooms. You'll have to do about 4 or 5 quests, and then finally it'll unlock another quest called Maestra's Relics. You can start the chain at about 15, but you won't be able to finish it until about 17, 18. Your end reward is the sword. Great value for human warriors and provides +5 stamina and good attack speed. Now, Dwarven Tree Chopper is my next item. Now, this item, literally out of the 20, is probably the hardest to get, simply because it's going to require you to kill some elite ogres in Loch Modan. But it starts with the Dark Threat looms up by the dam in Loch Modan and has 7 parts to it. Like I said, at one point, you'll have to kill ogres for a gem. The drop rate sucks. So pray for some luck. If you really are desperate to get this axe, go ahead and cherry pick the lower level ogres that pat around the entrances. If you dare finish this chain, the axe is actually pretty worth it, and it has a 2+ skill axe skill attached to it. So again, probably the most difficult one out of the 20, but I did want to throw it in here just because of the +2 axes. So it has some worth to it. Now, my next weapon is one that I've mentioned before in my previous videos about items. The link is above at the top, and that's Emil's Brand. This sword is too good not to get. First, you'll have to do the Forsaken Diseases quest in Ashenville, and then they will give you Insane Druids. You'll have to go in a cave and kill a few named mobs. So being in a cave in itself is dangerous for warriors, but I'm telling you, this sword has insane value. 22 attack power, 11 strength, good attack speed, and it looks badass. Now, Gorilla Cleaver is another good choice in Stranglethorn Val up at the Rebel Camp. Has 2.8 attack speed for the main hand, which is beautiful. Very good value for Dual World Warriors. All you have to do is grab Jungle Remedies and a Fern Extract from some mobs that are close to the quest giver. My last choice is Big Ol' Bertha, the Rock Pulverizer. Now, this chain actually starts in Ironforge called Iron Band Wants You. It'll make you go through a few steps, and then eventually it'll take you to Badlands to kill some trogs. I wouldn't do this quest until about level 40, but this mace is something else. 34 attack power, 3.7 attack speed, and it's a mace. Insanely good for human warriors and warriors all around. Honestly, this mace is a must do. Now let's head over to the armor. My first one, very simple, Ironheart Chain for all the stamina junkies out there. Just an easy quest in Lock Modan from Mountaineer Stormpike. Just head to the mine right across the road. Grab some boxes on the ground. 4 stamina chest piece, easy to get you started in Lock Modan. Now my next choice is another bundle. Ring of Iron Will and Gold Militia Boots, a stamina ring, and some boots that have great value. You'll get this quest over in Red Ridge, starting with a Baying of Gnolls, and then they'll ask you to kill Yowler, a level 27 Gnoll. Now keep in mind he's going to be surrounded by 2 or 3 of his friends, but overall pretty easy quest that gives you some great value for a ring and boots. My next choice is Seal of Rin, which seems like an obvious choice, but it really isn't for beginner Alliance players. I know when I started playing Alliance, I had no idea this ring actually existed. Now this chain starts off with the note off Van Cleef, so you'll have to do Dead Mines, and then I'll take you to Stormwind to do Stockades, and then some tedious talking, and then a bunch of stuff at the end. But overall, it's a pretty fun chain. But this ring will last you a very long time, honestly, past level 40, especially in a hardcore setting. My next option, Bright Scale Girdle. It's a great option because there really isn't many choices for belts for Alliance. 6 strength, 6 stamina for not a lot of work. Starts in Ashenvale with the quest called Vile Satyr, Dryads in Danger. You'll go to a almost dead Dryad and she will tell you to kill a named Satyr. Take the item back, get the belt, easy. My last item actually gives you a whopping 30 attack power, and that's the Granite Gloves. This quest starts at the Rockbiter camp at the top of Feralis. You'll find a big giant. You have to go find his friends and then escort them. Relatively easy, but an item that gives you a lot of value at the end of your hardcore journey, higher 40s. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and use it for reference. Be sure to subscribe, and I appreciate you guys. I'll see you later.